it's Kim Corallo, and today's video is going to be a little different. I have zero vintage to show you, but I do have some information that I would like to pass along. First of all, I would just like to say that I am so appreciative of every single one of you. If you take the time to give me a comment, a like, a follow, all of the things are so important in growing a small business, especially for those of us who are just a tiny bit older and the technology part is really hard. So last video, the music was a little loud. I thought I had that honed in a little bit better than what it was when I first started about 6 months ago. And so I really apologize for that. I am trying to learn more, to do better. And so for those of you that continue to watch anyway, thank you for giving me grace. And I promise I am trying. I'm not just, I won't say that I'm not just throwing things to the wall to see what sticks, because honestly, sometimes with the technology part of all of this, that is kind of what I do. But I am trying to do better, and thank you for bringing it up. I don't mind at all. I want you all to tell me what you want to see, what you don't want to see. This year, 2025, I will be doing some different things besides just the vintage hauls, because I don't know, maybe that is something that you only want to see. Let me know. But I kind of think that maybe could get a little bit boring and monotonous over and over and over. So that being said, this video for you guys that are just here for the vintage, just here to see some shelf styling, just here to see what's being added, to the Etsy store or to the booth spaces, this video may not be for you, but I think that this video could be for that person who has been thinking about possibly starting a booth business. I have tried to do a little bit of the backside business side video before it, just one time. This will not be a normal occurrence unless you guys request more of it. So I've been around the block a couple of times. I have owned booth spaces along with my sister for many, many years. We stopped doing the booth completely well before COVID. But the reason why we stopped is because our business ebbed and flowed, and it took us to different spaces that required either more time, or B, made us a better profit for our time. And so we closed it down. After 2020, I decided I had already started going onto the online space. I've had Etsy store along with my sister for years. Etsy has been so good to us, and I really enjoy that platform. So I will probably keep it. Have a website. Website for me has been a little harder, because with a website, you have to generate all your business to it. And let's just face it, guys, it's not easy to do. So that has not been the best form of business for our crafting and vintage business. We are thinking about growing back into the show aspect. We had stopped that for 2 years, and we just truly miss it. We kind of thought we were getting too old for that. We kind of thought we were getting too old for the packing it and carrying it and setting it all up. And don't get me wrong, it's hard. But we are thinking about at least doing one more show this year, 2025, and possibly two, giving it a one more kind of good old college try. And if it doesn't, well, I won't say if it doesn't work out, because shows have been remarkably, incredibly successful for us. If it's too physically hard for the two old girls, these two old goats, then we will step back and try some new things. Okay, so that goes into telling me, or telling you, that if you're thinking about trying things like that, for one thing, you're never going to know until you try. And I suggest go for it. Guys, I am sitting here talking to you on my phone, on YouTube, and I have not a clue about the technical side of this internet business. Yet it hasn't stopped me. I put my boots on, I strap them up, and I go right to work. And I know I am going to hit roadblocks. I know that it's going to sometimes knock me down and set me down for a while and make me think, I'm not doing that anymore. But I have 6 months ago decided that I'm giving this a good try, and I am dedicating at least one video per week, and I did it. I met my goal, and I'm very proud of that. This year, 2025, I said I'm coming on and I'm going to try to do at least 2 times a week or 8 videos per month, however you want to shake it. And I got off to a little bit of a slow start. We had quite a bit of weather here in the state of Kentucky. We lost power here at our home and our internet was down. And you know what? I said, I don't care. I'm not going to stop. I'm still going to get those 8 videos in. So having said that, there will be a lot of throwing the spaghetti to the wall and seeing what sticks. I want you to come right up here and I want you to tell me that no interest in that. You know, your opinion, the people that are taking their time to watch me, those are the people that matter most. You matter most. So I want you to get right up here and tell me. Having said all that, let's talk about this booth business. That is really why I wanted to do this video. And I didn't make notes, and so I might get a little off track. I think I already have gotten a little off track. If you are thinking about starting a vintage booth business, a crafting booth business, because we have done both. And let me just tell you, it is good, you guys. It is good. Maybe you just want to buy the kids' sporting events, you know, softball, football, soccer, whatever they do, dance lessons. It can be kind of costly. Maybe that's all you're interested in, making just enough money to pay for that. Maybe you want this to be your full-time gig, that you're not interested in just a hobby. You want this to be your full-time gig. It can be done. It is hard work and you can do it. But let me tell you the reason why we, as a team, my sister and I, closed down a successful booth, a booth that was making us money every single month. We didn't lose a dime. Sometimes comparing apples to oranges doesn't always work. So we started off in the state of Kentucky, where we live in Lexington, Kentucky. I have been on wait lists here in Lexington literally for years, and spaces don't open up, and their wait lists are long. So I went outside of Lexington to my hometown in Nicholasville, Kentucky. It's about a 30-minute drive from my home, and started there. I opened up a space. It took me a while to get that space, and I have grown in that particular store. I have 2 booth spaces and a shelf right now, trying to grow even larger there. But I want to tell you, the turnaround in this particular store is 0. They do not leave. These people do not leave. That is what you want to look for. You want to look for turnover. You maybe want to make sure the store is successful before you go in there. Now, there is another part of that I want to share with you about a place that opened up. It's about it's about an hour and 15 minutes from me. And I wanted to give it a try because it's near where my niece lives, and my sister is there every single week. I am there quite often, and I thought it would be fairly easy travel time. But I didn't take the leap, you know, like it held me back because of the travel time. and it being a new place. But man, have I regretted that. I may not have been accepted anyway. So that's what I keep telling myself. I may not have been accepted anyway. So get over yourself and quit crying. But I'm still crying. This store is amazing. It is 3 levels. It is in a town called Crestwood, Oldham County. Oldham County is where it is. It is run by 2 women that are incredible. They are incredible to their vendors. They are incredible with social media. And I know it would have been a win-win, but I was scared and it held me back. Guys, don't be scared. The worst thing that can happen is that it will not work. Give yourself a timeline. Give yourself a minimum of what you're willing to lose. That includes your time and that includes your money. And if it doesn't work, pull it out. And then you don't have to ever revisit that. That didn't work. I didn't follow my own advice, and I'm still every day wishing that I could be in that store. And it's not just so much what they do, although it is, it's just the whole atmosphere is just what I love. It's curated, it's beautiful, it's large, it has all of the things that I would like to be a part of, but didn't get in on the front end, and they don't have turnover. Guys, they are successful, and their wait list is so daggum long that they don't even put people on the wait list anymore. Okay, that's the crying over spilled milk, and don't let it happen to you if you want to try this. So let's go back to the booth space that I have. It's great. The store owner there is fantastic. I had been here before. I had no reservations about going back. I just thought, I hope that, we did good enough before that she is willing to give us a chance again. And she was, and it has been great. And we have a point of sale system there that tells us where we fall. So we know exactly where we are in the lineup of sellers. We are in the top 10 consistently. We are actually in the top 5 consistently, and even smaller than that consistently. I'm not saying any of it to brag. I'm just saying that tells you there that you're doing good, and then you double down on that and you keep doing more. So we have grown our space as much as we can there to date. We would like to grow a little bit bigger there, but like I said, it's a place that doesn't have a lot of turnover. Okay, so then that brings us to the booth space that we closed down. I had this booth. I started it along with my sister. So when I say she is a big part of this. She helps do all of the things. She's just not sitting here on the internet. So when I say I'm not meaning just me. I do have a help business partner. That didn't come out really right, but okay. So why would you close it down if you're making money? This is the tip that if you're wanting to start this, if that had been the only booth that I had, and I'm making money every week, and I am sourcing my items, I am cleaning and pricing, and I am taking them, and I am making this profit at the end of every month, it would have been good enough. But this spot was literally walking distance of where I'm currently still at. And it was not just pulling in hundreds of dollars difference. It was pulling in thousands of dollars difference. Guys, the same merchandised the same way I do in any of my booth spaces. I curate my booth spaces, I style my booth spaces to try to give ideas for the potential buyer. I can't answer why. I can't answer why that customer didn't buy the merchandise at that store the way they did at the other store. Now, the other store, the one that I'm currently still at, is larger, right? Like, it's bigger. But still, it was amazing. So After a year and 2 months, I sat down at the end, probably really about October. I started thinking, it's not the money, it's the time. So I'm curating. I am spending time. I am cleaning, not just the items to take, but the space there. And I started thinking, even though I have to drive right by the spot to get to my current spot and drive right by the spot to get home from my current spot, I decided to close it. And I feel like I need somebody literally to tell me that's okay. Because, I think, well, I don't need somebody to tell me that's okay. I mean, I know it is, but you know what I mean? Like, you're like, why do you close something down that is successful? I also want to shout out the owner and the staff. Amazing. So that was the hardest part, guys, was leaving the staff and the owner. The shutting down the business became a little bit easier when I started looking at those numbers. And that's what I wanted to tell you, that if you want to do this, don't ignore the numbers. Make sure you do the due diligence and you look at all the things. And honestly, if I didn't have this other store to compare it to, it would have been good enough. But I was doing the same amount of work and the same amount of time for a whole lot less. And so we decided to close it. I'm only month 1 of closing that booth, and honestly just a few weeks. And this month is likely not to be a great month. January is sometimes hard anyway. But we had a snowstorm that shut down 2 days. Our store is open 7 days a week where I'm at. It shut her down for 2 days. And then, honestly, guys, if you could see outside right now, the streets are covered with ice. Everything is covered with snow. And so I just, it's not been as busy. But still yet, I am falling. Rent has been paid for several days. So still yet, I'm on track to make profit. Again, not bragging, just saying on track to make profit. But that's what I would stress more than anything. So if you're thinking about doing it and you don't have any, there's no place in your area that has openings, that's a good sign. If they don't have openings and they have a wait list, that's a good sign. Start shopping that store. Start going in on a regular basis and seeing how many people are there. Start looking for turnover and see how often they have turnover, and get on that wait list and just give it a try. If you don't have a plan, make a plan. Make sure that you know exactly how much money you can afford to lose if you lose, and I don't think you will. Also, make sure you have enough merchandise, and don't feel bad if you have to close it. I mean, I feel a little bad. I closed a business that was making money, but when I looked at what I was doing here in business A and what I was doing in business B, doing the exact same amount of work, business B was not pulling what I needed for it to pull for the exact same amount of time. So I'm going to use that time in business B and focus it here on YouTube, focus it on business A. Time is money, and maybe if nothing else, it'll save me a little bit of time sourcing. Maybe it'll save me a little bit of gas money. I don't know. We're just 1 month in, but I will come back and I will let you know what the verdict is on giving it up, and if in a few months I feel the same way that I do right now, which is feeling like it was the right decision. Guys, we hope that you have the very best day, and we will talk to you really soon.